Good morning, students. In today's lecture, we will discuss Hamilton's variational principle. And for to understand this principle, we must have a clear idea of 3 points, that is constants, Lagrangian, and action integral. So, first of all, we will discuss what are constants. So basically, constants are restrictions. These are restrictions on motion of the particle or system point. Okay, of particle. Okay, for example, if we say a particle is bound to move along x-axis, it means that suppose this is x-axis, at any time a particle is bound to move along x direction, then at time t1 the particle suppose is here at point A, and after some time at time t2 the particle will be at another point which is on the x-axis. So the particle cannot move along y direction or z direction. So this is the meaning of constants here. So constants are basically defined in terms of forces. These are forces because to bound any system or a particle to move in a specific manner, we have to impose forces on that, physical forces. Okay, and these forces are termed as constants. Okay, these forces may be conservative and non-conservative. If the constants are conservative, then the total energy of the system, that is E, it will remain conserved. You are to keep focus on these points. So the total energy will remain conserved. Here the total energy will be sum of kinetic energy and potential energy. Okay, and under conservative constants or forces, the kinetic energy T, it can be represented as the function of generalized coordinate and generalized velocity. Okay, and the potential energy will be function of generalized coordinate only. It will not be a function of velocity. So we will limit our discussion of constants and forces up to this point only. We have a lot of things which can be included in discussion of constants, but here we need these points. Okay, now we come to Lagrangian. So Lagrangian is a scalar function. Lagrangian is a scalar function. It is defined as the difference of kinetic energy and potential energy. Okay, now why we need Lagrangian? In Newtonian mechanics, we deal with physical forces, and the equation of motions require a lot of calculation to find any type of result. So that thing was simplified by Lagrangian by taking a scalar quantity, and here we have the constants in the form of conservative forces. So the kinetic energy is function of generalized coordinate and velocity, and potential energy is function of generalized coordinate only. Okay, we are to discuss this thing. Now we will come to action integral. Action integral is represented by I, and it is denoted by line integral of this scalar function, that is Lagrangian. Time integral, so this is t1 to t2 within the limit t1 to t2. So this is basically action integral. Okay, and what is Hamilton's variational principle? Okay class, firstly discuss one more thing about action integral. Here you see that action integral gives you path, gives you idea of path traversed by system. Okay, so it is well defined when conservative forces are involved. Okay, now come to Hamilton's variational principle. So Hamilton's variational principle say that the action integral I that will be well defined. So I am writing here what is the significance of Hamilton's variational principle. It gives us, this principle gives us actual path traversed by system. Okay, and you can say that Hamilton's variational principle say that action integral that is I equal to integration T1 to T2 L dt. This is well defined under conservative holonomic constraints. And holonomic constraints are those which can be represented in terms of equations. So you must have idea of holonomic constraints here. Okay, and the third point which we can, so class, the third point which we can say about Hamilton's variation principle is that now you see the action integral which tell us about the path traversed by the system, that is well defined. It means that if the system is moving under holonomic constraints, conservative holonomic constraints, then path is well defined. It means any variation in the integral, in the action integral, that will be equal to 0. Okay, so let me write it in language here. So Hamilton's variational principle state that any variation in action integral under action integral of a system under conservative holonomic constraints is not allowed, is not allowed. It means if you write this statement in mathematical form, then I want to say any variation in the action integral, any variation in I, that is equal to, you write here T1 to T2, and the variation will appear in the scalar function, that is Lagrangian, over the time dt. This will comes out to be equal to 0. So this is the third statement. This is the third thing which can be concluded from Hamilton's variational principle. and this one is the first thing. Okay, so Hamilton's variational principle gives us the actual path traversed by the system, and the second point is, if this is the actual path and the path is given by the action integral, okay, so that must be, if the path is actual, that must be well defined, second thing. And if the path is well defined, okay, so it will be a specific path because it is under holonomic constraints, because the path or motion of the system is restricted. It means this is a well defined or specific path, or you can say if the path is specific, then any variation, okay, or you can say other path is not allowed. Let me give one example here. Suppose here we have a particle, you see here, this is y-axis and this one is the x-axis, okay, and we have a particle here which is projected from here, okay, with initial velocity v, with initial velocity u. Then this here, what is the conservative force, the constant which restrict the motion of this particle, that is acceleration due to gravity. So if the mass of the particle is m, then mg will be the force which will act always in downward direction, and its path will be along this curve, okay, it will not be a straight line. So this is the path traversed by the particle. So this is the actual path, okay. And if you take this example, then you can see the particle is moving along x-axis, okay. So any variation, you can see the particle is moving along the x direction. It means the x coordinate will change, mean to say delta x will not be equal to 0. Why? Because the particle is moving along the x direction, and here in this case the variation along y-axis, that will be equal to 0 because the particle is bound to move along the x direction, and here you can see x and y coordinate both will change because the particle is, this motion is in xy plane, okay. So here the variation along z direction, that is equal to 0. So you can see if the constraints changes, then the change in coordinate will also, the condition of change in coordinate with time, that will also change. So this is the thing. Now if you can see here, this, in this case delta y, this is equal to 0, okay. So under various constraints, under various restrictions, the path followed by the system will be unique. This is the statement, this is the conclusion of Hamilton's variational principle, and any change in the actual path, that will be equal to 0. This is the mathematical statement which you are to keep in mind about Hamilton's variational principle. Thanks for watching the lecture.